Live from Las Vegas, it's Keto Cooking. Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Tom Garvey, the Keto Cook. Today we're going to be taking another vegetable that is considered to be low glycemic and really works well for people with type 2 diabetes like myself. So what I'm going to be making today is, said to Marie this morning, hey, I think I'm going to make some pork burgers. Okay, you don't always have to have a beef burger or hamburger or whatever. I was going to make some sausage, but I said, you know what, I just feel like making a little bit of ground pork. I'm going to add some different seasoning to it, not the conventional stuff. But I'm going to take this jicama and I'm going to cut it up. And I'm going to treat it like it's a potato. Okay, I'm going to make French fries. Actually, a very shoestring type of fries. I'm going to call it fries, and that's what it is. Hey, listen, sit back and watch this video. Really good. All right, like I mentioned in the intro, jicama. Okay, this is the alternative to a potato if you want to do French fries, but it's just not for that. There's other dishes that you can make with this that is very good. This is low glycemic for a type 2 diabetic like myself. It's like an alternative, but it's not to mimic French fries. But guess what? I am today. Also, I'm going to be taking some pork that I cut up into pork steaks, but I'm going to grind these up. And I'm going to make sausage burgers today. And also we're going to be putting them on chaffles. Here's the funny thing. I said to Marie this morning, I said, you know what? Maybe today I'm going to make that jicama into French fries. And also I'm going to make some sausage patties for a hamburger. Well, I didn't have to say any more. Chaffles. I already had them. I tell you what, these are delicious. You got to give it a shot. I mean, even if you're not keto, got to try this different foods. I mean, really delicious. Okay, let's get rocking and rolling here. Now, I'm going to take this jicama here, and I'm going to just take... This is a hard root, okay? And I'm just going to take the nubs off it. And we'll start peeling it. Now, I take a regular potato peeler. Okay, and I'll just go around. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this. I'm going to cut them into fries, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to boil them, just to get that hard crunch out of it. Just make them a little bit more pliable. So I'll come back when I have it all peeled. Okay. I mean, it peels up just like you would peel up a potato. There again, I'm not trying to mimic anything, but the comparisons are very, very close. They're the peels. The peels are almost like a potato skin. A little more coarse, but okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this up on to my mandolin, okay? And this has a French fry cutter on it that I'm going to set up, and I'm going to cut these up like French fries. Going to go into a pot of boiling water, a lot of salt, and I'm going to boil it for a little bit and then dry them real good before I try to put them in the fryer. In the meantime, I'm going to set up my grinder and grind up the pork, okay, and I'm going to add some other seasoning to it. I don't think I'm going to make it in my sausage seasoning. I think I'm going to use some other stuff. Okay, so there it is, playing with your food. Pretty soon, we're going to have some sausage burgers and French fries. All right, now this little gem right here, you got to be very careful with because it's very sharp, okay? Now, on the other side, whoops, as you can see right here, it has these little cutters on here. This is going to make for shoestring fries. I'm going to call them fries because that's what we're striving to make. So, I'm going to take, again, my olive oil. I'm going to paint it on here. Because this is moist, okay, and it will stick to the plastic. Why they made it this way, I don't know. There again, not a scientist, although I thought I was back in the 70s. Anyway, besides the point, I'm going to set this to a, I guess about right there. I got my cut glove on, just in case, and we're going to see what this looks like. Let me get down into the middle of this here. Okay, So So as you can see right here, let me get my little bowl and put the bowl up in here. So this is the fries. Okay. So these are gonna fry up pretty easy, pretty fast. Okay. In fact, they're gonna boil up very fast also. All right. Let me get to finishing this up. All right. There it is right there. Look at this. Look, just look at that. Okay. These are almost like hash browns. It looks like long hash browns. So these are going to go into the boiling water just for a little bit. I'm going to just to try to loosen them up. If you haven't ever tasted jicama like this, it's got a good crunch to it. Have a little bit of a sweet taste to it. Yeah, I can't wait to do these here. And also, when I got down to the end of the jicama, it was getting a little hard. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut these up into fries like that, and I'm going to give these a try also. So yeah, good stuff. Take this bag here of the pork. I'm going to open it up, and this is frozen, so it's in a good state where I want it to be, because I'm going to actually grind it up. It's much better to grind up semi-frozen meat than it is regular, room temperature meat. Doesn't get clogged up inside my grinder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up both these bags. I got two of them. Now this one I was going to use for like boneless ribs or whatever. But you know what? I don't like a good burger. It doesn't matter whether it's beef or pork. Okay. Just biting into a good, well-seasoned. Okay. You see, this is all pieces of the shoulder that I did. I did that boneless spare rib or boneless pork. That's the other side of it. So I'll let this thaw a little bit longer, and then we'll grind it up. Here it is. All right. Okay, there you see the jicama is done. But if you can look in the water there, it's very starchy. Okay, this is a starchy vegetable, but has a lot of fiber in it. So that's exactly, I'm getting out the starch, but it's still a high fiber. So that's why the glycemic load on it is pretty good. So actually, I think, I'm not sure exactly, you can Google it, but the fiber content is very high in this. That's why it's really good for diabetics. Okay, so this is still semi-frozen. Excuse me, but I'm going to cut these up into a little bit of chunks. Now, this is a small machine. It does its job, but you can't overpower it. You can't overwhelm it with a lot of meat going through the choke here. So what I do is I loosen up the front here so it spins a little bit easier. I paint it on a little bit of olive oil on it just to help lube it up a little bit. And then I cut these into smaller chunks as I can, and I take my time with it. Okay, so basically what I want is chunks to this size. Okay, all right, so I'm going to start grinding this up, and I'm going to show you the end result when we get done. All right, now I'm going to take this ground pork, looks really good, and I'm going to sprinkle in. Now this seasoning here is this is like the leftovers of every time I cook something. I don't throw anything away, so I keep this in here, and I tell you what, it's got a good taste. There's some paprika in there, some basil, also some Tommy spice. There is also Mexican oregano in here. So I'm going to start out with this also, and a little bit of cayenne pepper in here. It really has a nice blend to it. If I can just remember the proportions. But I'm going to sprinkle it in onto the bowl a little bit. And then I'm going to take this ground pork. Now this was a one grind only. Alright, I put it on the smallest die. Alright, to put it out. Now, put it in here. Now I'm just going to mix this around. try to blend it all together. I'm going to put the rest of the seasoning in it. Now I was going to, because I already have a blend that I put together myself for sausage and stuff like that. So being that this is ground pork, now the fat content in this one might be a little bit more, but there again, sometimes it has a tendency to dry out. So I'm going to mix this up real good. As I'm turning it, putting my hands in there, as you can see, I'm squeezing it, okay? So I'm squeezing it to all come together, all right? Now, when I make a large batch of sausage or ground pork, and I add seasoning to it, I like to put it onto my Mixmaster and let it grind and all blend in together. But being that we're just making a couple patties out of this for today's, man, I tell you what, this meat is freezing cold. I'm just going to hand blend it like this a little bit. I'm going to, as you can see, some of the seasoning in here. I'm going to add a little bit more Tommy spice to it. Tommy spice is, again, salt, pepper, garlic, and onion. And my SPGO. And I'm just gonna, I don't like wearing gloves, but for this, what I'm doing here, I need to. Now, like I said, squeezing it around. This is also going to go into the refrigerator and rest. Actually, it really doesn't, because it is freezing cold from the way I ground it up. And that's a good thing. That's what you want, especially when it is 101 degrees outside right now. Pretty cool in the house though. Okay, so I'm going to just leave it like that. I'm going to let that sit in the refrigerator. Okay, I have my burger maker here. I'm going to make up some burgers, and we're going to get this thing going here. Instead of you going through a whole bunch of wax paper or whatever, my wife saves the butter wrappers when we get butter. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll put this in on the bottom, put the patty in here, one on top. Well, I'll cut this up, fit in there. We'll use it one time and then throw it away. We got multiple uses out of it. It's good to get in that habit, especially on a fixed income, or you don't want to be wasting money throwing stuff away, because it is very expensive. All right, we're going to make these burgers up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my large ice cream scoop. We don't use ice cream no more, so one in here like this. I cut the butter wrappers into rounds. I'm going to put that into the center. I'm going to put this one on top. Okay, press it down a little bit, get a little bit of a head start on it. Voila. Alright, I'll finish these up. There they are. Okay, let's get this show on the road. Okay, Jicama is pretty much dried. Still has a little moisture to it. I mean, it should have been on a rack, but I'm going to just use a little bit at a time. But this probably not going to cook the whole thing. Probably what we're going to do is probably going to put this in the freezer, being that it's already blanched, and I can use this later on. I can have it with eggs and you know, make it like hash browns. Also, 2 patties. How's that song go? 2 all pork patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions, and a chaffle. Yeah, look at that. I tell you what, you got to try this. All right, let's get rocking here. Alrighty, got the oil heating up. Okay, I got my thermometer in here. This is a blend of olive oil and also avocado oil in here. I don't use a lot because I'm not going to make a lot of it. So that's going to go on that burner there, heating up. And also I'm going to fire up my big pan to put my pork in. So while I'm waiting for that to heat up, I'm going to take my 2 nice little pork patties. They're going to go into the pan. And we're just going to let them cook. Now I'm going to do these slowly because I want them to cook through. Alright. Okay, I try to put this on a wider angle here so we can see. I got the pork patties on. So they're crisping up nice. And I'm just going to let them go. Now, the oil is between 300 and 350. Now, I'm going to just do a little bit at a time here because it overflow. So I'm just going to drop in a little bit at a time. Okay, I don't want to boil over whatsoever. Now, this is going to take some time. And I'm going to let them go. Now I'm going to be putting in, these look like fries. I'm just going to put a little bit in again. Don't want to overfill. No fire. Be real careful. And we just let them go. I mean, here it is right here. As soon as it comes out of the fryer, I put it on a paper towel, and then I'll put the seasoning on it. Now, just using Tommy Spice on here. Salt, pepper, garlic, and onion. Okay, and I tell you what, this has a really good flavor, good taste. Liking it. Alright, I'm going to take the rest of this jicama here and it's going into the pan. And the reason why I'm doing this is to see how it shapes up to be like hash browns. Let's see what happens. Okay, time to plate. Waiting, waiting, and waiting. Chaffle. I'm going to be putting down my pork burger. And be putting on a little bit of little fried peppers. Well, if I could talk, I'd be worth a ton of money. And put that chaffle right there. Now, to the bowl, to the plate, a nice bird's nest, okay, of jicama. I'm telling you, this, if you haven't had this, you have got to try it. Also, a little bit of fries. These also come out really good. If you're expecting, when you bite into these, you're expecting to taste a potato. Furthest thing from the truth. Now, I'm going to make some room here. Now, over top of this bird's nest here, I'm going to squeeze a little lemon on here. Just sort of do it. Now, I'm just doing this for presentation because me and Maria are both going to share this. But also, I did a little jicama with almost like a hash brown. It's not cooperating. Oop. And this would be like a hash brown with cheese. Okay, we're going to dig into this right here. There again, this is ultimate right here, playing with your food. Now, on my pork, I like some ketchup. Now, this is low carb, no sugar. Added ketchup. So I'm going to put a little bit on there. I'm going to put a little bit over on the side here to dip my fries in. And you know I got to do this Make it rain green. Okay, there it is, folks, right here. I mean, one jicama, one small little jicama, some pork that I use. This is, like I said, the third or fourth time that I use that same shoulder, and the chaffles. You got to try it. I'm telling you. I'm going to take a bite. I'll probably end this right here because I'm not going to be able to talk. Look at that right there. Okay, everybody. Talk to you next time. Time of the Keto Cook. All right, there you have it. I mean, this turned out really well. I'm stuffed. And that's the whole idea of doing keto. Get yourself to the point where you're full. And this really did it. Now, you've seen that one small. I think that was actually a medium jicama. Probably had close to 1.75 pounds to 2 pounds of pork that I mixed up. That spice I put in there. Now, that was just little remnants left from throughout the week. What else I cook? I don't throw nothing away. I put it in a jar. I tell you what, I wish I could remember what I had in there. It was fantastic. The chaffle was really good. Now, the jicama came out perfect. All right. That little net, my mind is spinning right now because I have other things that I want to do right now with it. So I'll be heading to the store again, and I will definitely get another jicama, and I will be doing some other stuff with it. Really that good. It's great for me because I'm type 2 diabetic, very low in carb. It is a starchy vegetable, but if you boil it, okay, to a little bit, still had a little bit of a crunch to it. Really good. You can eat it raw, the whole thing. All right, enough one bag in here. Hey, listen, I'm Tom Garvey, the Keto Cook. I appreciate you watching. Hit that like, subscribe button. You know what to do, YouTube. Help me out. Let's go here, blah, 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 blah. All right, listen, thank you. Thank you for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I'll see you next time right here. Tom Garvey, the Keto Cook. Take care, everybody. Stay safe.